Right, 1 second. Yeah, so let me open the notepad. So friends, if you look at this question, we were solving this yesterday, so we will do it again. So we have to do a small correction here. So a patient takes a lab test and the result comes back positive. The test returns a correct positive result in only 98% of the cases in which the disease is actually present. So this we know that. And a correct negative result in only 97% of the cases in which the disease is not present. Furthermore, 0.008 of entire population have the disease, right? So percentage of population which has got the disease, that percentage is 0.008. So this we have written properly in the last class also. Now the percentage of population whom we are expecting to have cancer is 0.008. Immediately the percentage of the people or the proportion of the people whom do not have the cancer will be 1 minus 0.008, which we have properly calculated yesterday. We have written like this. So we have done a small mistake while writing the remaining parameters. So our values were correct, but they were written in wrong places, and that's the reason it affected our result also, right? So P of cancer is 0.008. P of not having cancer means that is 1 minus 0.008, which is 0.992. Now from the question, it is clear like the test returns positive result in only 98% of the cases, in only 98% of the cases in which the disease is actually present. Means in the positive cases, means if I send 100 people who already have cancer, I know that these 100 people have cancer, and if I send them to the test, for 98% people only, for 98 people only, the report is coming to be positive. Actually, for all 100 people, it should be positive. Means for 98% of the people, it is giving correct answer. In for remaining 2%, it is not giving correct answer. It is giving negative result. So friends, what is P plus of cancer means? Here we should write 98%, which is 0.98. So even this was written properly yesterday. Right? So now what is the mistake which we have done is, so wherever you find minus, see wherever you find minus, there you are going to write about the negative percentages. So what happened in the first case is, the test returns a correct positive result in only 98% of the cases in which the disease is actually present. So friends, if you observe this second line, let me draw a line here. Right? So this second line, it talks about the positive cases. So in positive cases, what is the percentage of correct result? 98%. So in positive cases, right, for positive cases, 2% of the people, it is saying they don't have cancer, but originally they have the cancer, which is our false, negatives. So 0.02 should come here. If you remember, yesterday we have written 0.02 in the next line. That is the mistake which we have done. Right? One second. I need to attend an important call. Give me just 1 minute. Yeah, no problem. I've disconnected it. Sorry. So P of plus of cancer. So this second line talks about positive cases. So in positive cases, 90%, 98%, I'll get positive report. So false negatives are 0.02% or 2%. You can say 2%. Now this third line is my negative case. Means, see, this is the case, negation of cancer. Negation of cancer means the negative case. What is written for negative case? A correct negative result is only 97% of the cases in which disease is not present. Means if I send 100 people who don't have disease, for those 100 people, actually I should get for all 100 people negative report. But 97% of the cases only it is giving negative report. So this success rate is 0.97. This success rate is, sorry, here I should write, right? So the negative rate is 0.97. So this is 97%. So what do you mean by negation of cancer? Not having cancer. Not having cancer means what report I should get? I should get a negative report. So how many, what is the percentage of successful negative reports? 97%. So negation of cancer means not having cancer. So report should be negative and its percentage is 97. So this 97 is written here. So in this 97% of the cases, the answer should be negative and it is negative. But remaining 3% cases, it should be negative, but still it is giving positive. Means for 3% of the people, they don't have cancer, but my program or my algorithm will say that they have cancer, means false positive. So 0.03. So friends, we have done a small mistake yesterday. 0.02, I think here we have written. So to be more clear, this first row, it talks about overall population. In overall population, what is the percentage of population having may have cancer is 0.08. And in overall population, what is the proportion of the people who may not have cancer? Means 1 minus 0.08. So this first row talks about overall population. Second row talks about positive cases. Third row talks about negativity, right? So here, this is my false negative. This is my false negative. And this 0.03 is my false positive, right? Now, let me solve this problem. Now, how do I solve this problem? P of right x by a into P of a divided by P of x by a into P of a into P of a plus another component. What is that another component? P of x by negation of a into P of negation of a. So here a is our event, that occurrence of cancer or having cancer. X is our test. So there are two things in conditional probability. One is the event, another one is the condition which represents an event. So here event means having a cancer is event, having or not having. But how do you come to know that the what is the means how do you derive or how do you come to a conclusion that a person have cancer or not? What is the condition? He has to undergo a test. So here the test is the condition and event is the disease, means occurrence of the disease is the event. So now if you observe P of x by A into P of A means, right, P of x by A means positive, P means undergoing test and positivity, right, 98% that we have seen yesterday. So same thing I am substituting here. So let me erase this. P of x by A means x is my test, A is my event. So what is the probability of people undergoing test and founding to have a positive result? That probability is 0.98, right? So 0.98 into 0.98 into P of A. P of A means probability of entire population having cancer, 0.008, right? So let me erase this. I'll write it as 0.008, right? Now similarly in the denominator, the first part is nothing but this product, right? So what is the first part? This product. What is the product of 0.98 into 0.008? If you remember correctly, I think it was 0.0078, right? We have computed this yesterday. We have committed mistake in this negative part. So 0.0078 is the product of this one. So I will directly write it here. So it will be 0.0078 divided by same 0.0078 plus this component, right? So P of x negation A into P of negation A. So P of x negation A means, now look at this one, see here, P of x, x means undergoing the test, and the report is negative. So P of x by A, x by negation A is my 0.003. So P of x bar negation A is 0.003 and P of negation A means entire population wherein we expect that percentage or proportion of population not having cancer, which is 0.9992, right? 0.992. So P of x by not A is 0.03 into 0.992. Can anyone quickly multiply this and tell me what is the result? 0.003 into 0.992. Chat box, did anybody calculate it? 0.029, super. 0. Right, so it was 0.029, huh? Okay, 0.029. So when I solve this, I get 0.0078 divided by, anybody has done this sum already? No, you have not done. So no issue. I'll do it. So I'll do this calculation. 0.0078 plus 0.029, sorry, 0.029. When I add them, it will be 0.0368. So So 0.0368. Already I need to add this 0. Just after addition, sorry. I have added. So this is my denominator. Now when I divide this, what I will get? So let me do the division also. 0.0078 divided by 0.0368. So the answer which I get is somewhere around 0.211. So what is the answer we got? Yesterday we got wrong answer. We got 0.808, something like that. So the answer is 0.21. Right? So friends, now what do I conclude with this answer? That part we have not yet discussed, right? So we have calculated and we have, I think, we have stopped it. So when I get the answer, when I apply this formula of Bayes theorem and when I get some answer, this answer is called as posteriori probability. So this answer is called as posteriori probability, right? Means posteriori means afterwards. Probability, posteriori probability. Right. So what is the answer I got? 0.21. Now what should I conclude by this formula, or what should I conclude by this application of Bayes theorem is, now where we have started with a question like whether a person has got cancer or not. Now what is the purpose of Bayes theorem is, suppose that person has went to the diagnostic center, taken the test, and we are trying to work on that test results, right? Every time test results need not be correct, so that's the reason we are trying to work on that test result. Now what we are doing is, before solving this problem, we know that in the entire population, means in the entire data set, right, in the entire data set, in the entire population, 0.008% of people, or 0.008 proportion of people may have cancer. That is what was given in the question. So friends, that 0.008, that 0.008 is called as prior probability. Prior probability. So beforehand, before we solve the problem, so we have, or we were given something called as prior probability. Means before solving the problem only, we know that in the entire population 0.0 sorry, oh, yeah, so in the entire population already it is given that 0.008% of the people will have cancer. So prior probability is 0.08, posterior probability value is 0.81. So sorry, 0.21. So posteriori probability 0.21 is greater than 0.008. Yes or no? So the answer which I got is greater than 0.008. So based on this, I can conclude, or I can, what we say, I can estimate that the person who has a particular person who went for the test, and that particular person have got some result, right? So what do I understand by this one is, suppose the result came as this person, let us say a person has got a positive result. Positive result means a person has got cancer. This is what the test report says, right? Now if the test report says that the person has got cancer, now what I will do is, based on my posteriori probability, if this answer 0.21, if this is greater than prior probability, then I can still believe, or I can still guess that the person may not have cancer, right? So the person may not have cancer, the person may not have cancer. Even though the result was positive, I can still believe that he may not have cancer. So friends, the purpose of Bayes theorem in this particular case is to uh, justify or test to what extent that particular report or that particular result can be trusted. So if your posterior probability's value is greater than the prior probability, you can still believe that he may not have cancer. Suppose if this posteriori probability value, if I got something less than 0.8, then if the report says that fellow has got a cancer, then I can believe, I can trust that report, and I can say, yeah, he may have cancer. So what is the purpose of this posteriori analysis or posteriori probability which we are computing? What is the purpose of this one is, it is to give some weightage to that particular test which was carried out. If someone says, I have gone through this test and I got the result, maybe positive, negative, whatever it is. So now to what extent I can trust this test, to what extent I can believe this test report, that can be estimated using Bayes theorem. So and the answer which we have computed now is called as posteriori probability, and the entire population which is expected to have cancer is 0.0808. This is called as prior probability. So if the posterior probability is greater than prior probability, then the chances of occurrence of event are less. Here the event is having cancer disease. So the chances of occurrence of event are less if the posteriori probability value is greater than prior probability value. If the posterior probability value is less than prior probabilities, then the chances of occurrence of event are considered to be more, right? So is it clear, friends? Please respond in the chat box. Is it clear? Kindly respond in the chat box. Yeah, thank you, right? So now what we will do is, we will solve, or we will see one important, there is one topic called as probability density function, right? And another small concept is there which is related to concept learning. So before we see that, we will try to learn one important algorithm, right? It is called as naive Bayes classifier. Naive Bayes classifier. It is very important, and I think we have one lab exercise also, right? So friends, what we will do is, now we will try to understand naive Bayes classifier. Classifier means, what do you mean by classifier? What do you mean by classifier? Please respond. Separator. Don't use the word separator. classification. If you remember in the beginning of this course, we have seen what is the scope of machine learning, what kind of problems machine learning can solve: classification problems, clustering problems, regression problems, prediction problems, right? So classification means we already know the class labels, right? In clustering problems, we don't know the class labels. How many groups I'll get, I don't know. In classification problem, I already know the classes, right? So for object classification, naive Bayes algorithm can be used. So there is a concept called as naive Bayes classifier. So that algorithm we will try to see. But friends, if we try to apply the algorithm, if we try to see the algorithm directly, it will be difficult for you to understand. So what we will do is we will straight away try to solve the problem, right? We will try to solve the problem, then we will see the theoretical part of the algorithm, right? So let us go back to this one. What is this? Decision tree, concept learning. Yeah, decision tree data set. I want this data set. Right, so please observe this data set. So is it a classification problem or not? What is the output of this particular problem? Whether a person will go for playing tennis or not. So possible outcomes are only true, yes or no. Only two outcomes, yes or no. So two classes we have, yes and no. So this is the data set, my dear friends. This is the data set. So outlook, temperature, humidity, wind, these are the four independent variables. Playing tennis is my outcome variable. And in playing tennis, right, there are only two possible outcomes, either yes or no. So it is a classification problem because I already know the possible outcome classes. There are only two classes. One is yes, another one is no. So this example we will try to take and we will try to solve the problem now by applying naive Bayes algorithm, naive Bayes classification algorithm or naive Bayes classifier. I will not teach you the classification algorithm. I will not show you the algorithm. Straight away I will solve the problem. Then we will go back and we will see the algorithm so that the algorithm becomes easy to understand. So that is the strategy here, right? So friends, now observe this data set. There are 14 records in this data set. And if you observe in this data set, 9 times yes came, means positive outcomes is 9 and negative outcome is 5 times. Means two classes we have, yes and no. Yes came 9 times, no came 5 times. So that is one important observation. Now I need to do classification, right? So let me solve the problem by applying one method called as naive Bayes classifier, right? So here the problem is, see here, outlook, you know the parameters, right? You know the parameters. So these are the parameters. Outlook is the parameter O, temperature is second parameter, humidity is third parameter, wind is fourth parameter. Based on these combinations, player tennis will be decided. So if outlook is sunny, temperature is hot, humidity is high, wind is weak, this fellow will not go for playing tennis. Similarly, if the outlook is overcast, temperature is hot, like that. So for 14 cases, I know the outputs. Now let me take a case where I don't know the output. So let me take a case where I don't know the output. Means this is not my training data. So outlook is sunny. Outlook is sunny. Temperature is cool. Temperature is cool. Humidity is high. Humidity is high. Wind is strong. Wind is strong. Now in this particular case, what is the outcome? Right? Playing tennis. So he will go for playing tennis or not? So play tennis is my output variable. Now whether it is yes or no, I have to calculate. So friends, in my data set, I don't have this combination sunny, cool, high and strong. If you look at the data set, so sunny, cool, high and strong, we don't have that data set. So this is not there in 14 records. So remaining cases I know, when it is sunny, temperature is hot, humidity is high, wind is weak, this fellow will not play. If you see the third record, outlook is overcast, temperature is hot, humidity is high, wind is weak, this fellow will go for playing tennis. Like that I have some 14 examples, but this is a different example. It is not there in my 14 cases. It's not there in my 14 cases. Now I need to predict what is the output, whether the person will go for playing tennis or not. So I need to predict this. So I have written question mark. Now I am going to solve this problem by applying naive Bayes classifier. Right? So listen carefully. After, in the next class, we will see the algorithm. First of all, let us solve the problem. Right, friends? Now, first of all, what I need to calculate, this entire naive Bayes classifier is based on a concept called as conditional probability. Right? In fact, Bayes theorem is all about conditional probability. So we are going to solve this naive Bayes classifier based problem using a concept called as conditional probability. Right. So first, let me calculate certain things. Probability of playing tennis on the whole data set. Probability of playing tennis is equal to yes. How many times it is yes on the whole data set? How many times it is yes? By looking at the data set, you can count how many times yes came. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right? So what is the probability out of overall 14 cases? It is 9 by 14. 9 by 14. Right? I will use my phone to do the calculation. 9 by 14. Can anyone help me out in solving this? No issue. I can't switch quickly to the screen. So I'll do this calculations. 9 by 14, 0.64. So overall probability of yes is 0.64 as per data set. Similarly, overall probability of playing tennis PT is equal to no. Right, as per my overall data set, it is 5 times it was no out of 14 cases. So 5 by 14, its answer is, how much I'll get? 5 divided by 14, 0.366, 0.36. So I am solving this. In order to solve this problem, so you have to, first of all, from the data set, you need to see how many times yes occurred, how many times no occurred. Like that, if you have more than 2 classes, also for all classes you have to find these probabilities. Right? I have done. Now look at this particular look at this particular data set. O is equal to yes. O is equal to, outlook is equal to sunny. Outlook is equal to sunny. So probability of outlook equal to sunny and PT is equal to yes. So this is conditional probability. Now what I need to do is, probability of outlook equal to sunny and PT equal to y means when outlook is equal to sunny, right? This I am getting from my question. When outlook equal to sunny, how many times yes occurred in the data set? So you have to go back to the data set and see the data set. Outlook is equal to Sunny. See here, outlook is equal to Sunny. What is the outcome? Play tennis? No. So I don't want this. Outlook equal to Sunny. Play tennis should be yes. No, it is no. So I'll not consider this. I'll not consider this. So again, where is Sunny? Where is Sunny? So here it is Sunny. Outlook is equal to Sunny. What is the outcome? No. Outlook is equal to Sunny. What is the outcome? Yes. Okay. 1. Outlook equal to Sunny. What is the outcome? Yes. 1. 2 times I got. So any other case? So outlook equal to Sunny. How many times outlook was Sunny? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In these 5 cases, how many times it was yes? Outlook equal to Sunny and yes. Outlook equal to Sunny and yes. So D9 is outlook equal to Sunny and output is yes. Similarly, D11 output is outlook is equal to Sunny, output is yes. Remaining 3 cases, if you observe, no, no, no. So what I need to do is I need to come back and I need to write these values now. So what is the conditional probability? Means output is yes. Output is yes when output is yes when outlook is equal to Sunny. So total how many times it was yes? Total it was 9 times it was yes from the overall data set. When outlook equal to Sunny, how many times it was yes? Only 2 times. 2 by 9. 2 by 9. So outlook is equal to Sunny and playing tennis is equal to yes. Both conditions you have to check. So playing tennis will be yes for 9 times, which we know from overall data set. And in these 9 times, outlook equal to Sunny. How many times outlook was Sunny? That you have to see. So 2 divided, it was only 2 times. So 2 by 9. 2 by 9, which will be 0.2. Right. Similarly, for negative case, outlook is equal to Sunny and PT equal to N. How many times PT was no overall? How many times it was no overall? Out of 14 records, output was no for 5 times. When output was no, in those 5 cases, what was the value of outlook? Whether it is Sunny or not, that you have to see. Right? See here. First output, no. What is the outlook value? Sunny. Yes, matched. Second output, no. What is the value of outlook? Sunny. Like that, if you see this one, D8 is also Sunny. So if you observe in output, when output was no, outlook was Sunny occurred 3 times. 3 by 5. 3 by 5. 3 divided by 5, which is 0.6. Like this, I need to calculate the probabilities, conditional probabilities for 4 cases. O equal to yes. Now temperature is equal to cool, right? Temperature should be cool. So what I will do, P of T equal to C, then same case, PT equal to Y, PT equal to N. Both you have to consider. PT equal to Y. So always total number of positive cases, it is 9. Then T equal to C. T equal to C means how many times temperature was cool. How many times temperature was cool. I need to go back and see the data set. See the temperature part, wherever there is cool, whether it is yes or not. Output is yes, temperature is cool. 1 case I got. Temperature is cool, but output is no. I should not consider this. Like that, see the next case, cool. Output is yes. 2 times it was cool and yes. So cool and yes. Cool and yes, I need to see. See here, D5 is cool and yes. Output is yes. D6 is not matching. Cool and no. D7, cool and yes. So 2 times. Similarly, D9 is cool. Answer is outcome is yes. So how many times I got? 3 times temperature was cool whenever output was yes. 3 by 9. This is 0.33. This is 0.33. Similarly, I need to compute P of temperature is equal to cool, PT equal to no. How many times no occurred in the data set? 5 times. So denominator is 5. And whenever output was no, in those 5 cases, look at the temperature value, whether it is cool or not. So output is no, temperature is hot, leave it. Output is yes, no. Output is no. See here, D6, output is no, temperature is cool. One case I got it. Cool, yes. Cool, yes. That's all. Only one time it was matching. So this is 1 by 5. 1 by 5, which will be 0.2, I think. 0.2. So this I have done for my second parameter, which was temperature, and its value was cool. Like that, I should compute the probabilities for humidity as well and wind. Means 2 more computations I need to do. Now what I have to do is I have to multiply all positive cases, right, and negative cases separately. See here, we will wind up in another 2 minutes. Right. So I call this one as P of S. So what is P of S means? I have to multiply all these things. First outlook parameter was sunny, PT equal to Y. In that case, what probability I got? 0.22. 0.22 multiplied by second parameter. Temperature is cool. PT is Y. 3 by 9. 0.33. Similarly, I will compute for remaining 2 parameters, right? So those values also I should for humidity and wind, HES into wind S. Now I hope you understood how to compute these probabilities. I have done for 2 combinations, outlook and temperature. For remaining 2 parameters, you can do it. Whatever values you get for them, you need to substitute, multiply all S values, which is called as P of S. And let us say P of S is X. This answer I will get. Now similarly, P of no I should compute by applying all, like outlook I have already calculated 0.6 into, for temperature what is the no parameter value, 0.2 into, for humidity also what is the no value you have to compute, and for wind also what is the no value you have to compute. Let us say you will get this one as some Y, or let me call this one as not X and Y, let me call this one as A and B, right? Now what we have to do is we have to apply the conditional probability formula. Oh, it's already 10:21. Fine. So we have to see which one is more, like whether A is greater than B or B is greater than A, we have to check. Then we have to apply one more small conditional probability formula. Then we will tell the outcome whether he will go for playing tennis or not. So don't worry, this will be another 10 minutes I need to solve this, but already it's time up. So we will wind up and we will complete this problem in the next class, right? Meanwhile, please let me know till till now whatever we have discussed, is it clear to everyone or not? We will continue and we will complete this problem in our next class. Right? And one more thing, that lab experiment, those who have not submitted, you please submit it. Right? Accordingly, we need to do the evaluation.